Welcome to Land of the Bible. I'm your host, David Sussman. Today, we are headed to one of Israel's most northern and beautiful locations, the Banyas. In Israel's far north, tucked into the foothills of Mount Hermon, lies one of the most beautiful and spiritually rich landscapes in the country, Banyas. Known in ancient times as Caesarea Philippi, this area is home to one of the main headwaters of the Jordan River. Here, clear, cold water bursts from a limestone cliff, carving its way through dense forest and over rocky falls. The ecology of Banyas is like nowhere else in Israel. Fed by rainfall and snowmelt from Mount Hermon, the area teems with life, fish, birds, and wild boar. The trees and wildflowers change with the seasons, creating a vibrant landscape that has sustained human life for millennia. But it's not just the natural beauty that draws people here. It's the layers of history carved into the rock. Though not explicitly mentioned in the Jewish Bible, the area surrounding Banyas is near biblical Dan, where the tribe of Dan settled after migrating north. The region borders ancient Bashan, a land known for its mighty kings and fertile pastures. It was considered the northern frontier of the Israelite kingdom, a borderland between civilizations and spiritual traditions. From ancient kings to modern hikers, from pagan temples to spiritual revelations, the Banyas stands as a testament to the enduring significance of water, worship, and witness.
Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Rosenberg. I will be your tour guide here at the Banyas, the Hermon Nature Reserve. Come and explore this amazing site with me. We have entered into the Hermon Stream Nature Preserve here at the Banyas. We are slowly going to be making our way all the way to the source of the water. I can hear it rushing and calling my name to get to it. This is one of the main sources of the Jordan River. We are located all the way in the north of Israel, right next to the borders of Lebanon and Syria, with the amazing Hermon mountain not too far away. We are on the foothills of the Hermon. Walking around the paths here in this park, you're going to see lots of signs of the different types of trees, including behind me the Tabor oak, one of the most common trees in this part of Israel. When you're hiking in the Banyas, you're going to see many different trail markers. The one that we are going to be following today is going to be the Red Trail. It's a 45-minute loop, bringing you all the way to the waterfall and then back up the stairs right where we are starting right now. If you are in a rush, you can just go down the stairs right to the waterfall directly, but I recommend spending the extra 20 minutes and taking the long route. We have made it to the suspended trail, only put in the year 2010. It allows us to walk right above the river in the beautiful ravine cut by the water of the Hermon spring coming through, rushing all the way to the Jordan River. how incredible it is to be here in the north of Israel, in an area that's mostly desert, just to be able to hear the rushing water. I could barely hear myself think. That's how much water is coming through. The water's all coming from Mount Hermon. It seeps through the limestone and it juts out here in the Banyas, trickling its way down, cutting through the rocks with its power to get into this giant crevice of this ravine. How incredible this is to be able to see. As you're walking along this trail, there are so many amazing places where you can actually stop, enjoy the nature, enjoy the family, rest, relax, have a little snack, and just immerse yourself in the nature that we have here. Guys, we have finally made it to the pinnacle of the site. We are finally at the Banyas waterfall. It is a 30-foot waterfall gushing with water year-round, ice cold, again coming directly out of the Hermon mountain. This is such an incredible spot, one of the main sources of the Jordan River with the water gushing out of the Hermon mountain. And with that, it brings me back to the book of Psalms, to Psalm number 42 that I would like to read for you. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. My thirst for God, for the living God. Where can I go and meet with God? My tears have been my food day and night, while people say to me all day long, where is your God? These things I remember as I pour out my soul, how I used to go to the house of God under the protection of the Mighty One, with shouts of joy and praise among the festive throng. My soul is downcast within me, therefore I will remember you, from the land of Jordan, the heights of Hermon, from Mount Mizar. Deep calls to deep in the roar of your waterfalls. All your waves and breakers have swept over me. By day, the Lord directs his love. At night, his song is with me. A prayer to the God of my life. Put your hope in God, for I will yet praise him, my Savior and my God. What a wonderful way to spend our time right here in the waterfall, contemplating on the words that King David have written for us. We talk about how important the life is of the water coming right here, again, from Mount Hermon, standing right by Mount Mizar. And this is where life begins, here in the Holy Land.
Imagine walking where Jesus walked, where faith comes to life. Feel the Bible story unfold around you, from the green Galilee to Jerusalem's ancient streets. Experience the serene and welcoming land of the Bible, where miracles happen. Put your heart where his footsteps are. Visit Israel.
Welcome to the start of the Banyas spring. Right behind me is the source of the water coming out from inside of the mountain. This is one of the main sources of the Jordan River, flowing all the way down to the Sea of Galilee. This is going to be also on the main road towards Damascus, which of course for the pagans in the Hellenistic era of the 2nd century is an ideal spot for them to be able to have an amazing pagan city with the myth of Pan. Pan has the idea of the gates of Hades are right behind me in the cave that you see. This story of Pan is going to also intrigue the whole city being built over here. Eventually, during the time of Jesus, according to the book of Matthew, Jesus is going to gather with his disciples, and he's going to announce to him that he is the Son of God and he is the Messiah, and he's going to give the keys of the city to Simon. As you walk around, you see wild fig trees growing everywhere, and in a few more months, this will be ripe and ready to eat right off the tree. We have now entered into the main cultic center of Caesarea Philippi of the Banyas. To really think about the history, we have to go all the way back to the 2nd century. And the main religion back then is actually paganism. And the main story is going to be about Pan. Pan, who's going to be the half-human, half-goat creature that is going to be tormenting the people with all of his tricks and mischievous ways. He's the god of the forest creatures and animals. The pagans, you can see, would come here and worship him. They had beautiful temples that were built here with niches inside of the walls for them to be able to pray at with all their pagan symbolisms. We are now inside of the temple for Pan and the dancing goats. Again, this is one of the main temples for them to be able to worship the god Pan, the half-human, half-goat, the very mischievous man that would always wreak havoc on everybody. If you didn't know, the word panic actually comes from the name Pan because of how mischievous he was. He would make everybody panic when he was around you. So standing here in the middle of a cultic center for the pagans to worship the god Pan, for this temple of Augustus Caesar, and all these very pagan ideas, why in the world is Jesus going to bring his disciples here? And it's pretty incredible when we read from the book of Matthew. Listen carefully. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do you people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others, Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you to the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bid on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. So according to Jesus, this is the perfect location for him to announce himself as the Messiah to his disciples. He is staying at the gates of hell in a pagan city, saying, "I am the Lord, I am the Son of God, and if you follow me, I will give you the keys to the heaven." What an amazing location for that to happen, fighting against the paganism that is happening right over here. Wow, what an amazing sight that we had right over here to actually be able to experience of the beginnings of where the church started. Such an incredible sight, from the paganism to Jesus giving the keys of the kingdom to Simon Peter. Wow, you really get in the feelings of everything. And as we continue walking all the way down to the water, this will bring us on our journey, eventually ending us all the way to the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus will continue his ministries. Wow, what an amazing sight. So the park that we have here is an amazing nature reserve, not only for you to come and see the archaeology and the history, but also just to come with your family and have a wonderful picnic on the picnic tables while you see the beginnings of the Jordan River flowing right through. There are many different trails you can hike depending on your skill level, from just a small little loop of about 30 to 45 minutes all the way to an hour and a half walk all the way down to the waterfall. You get to pick whatever you would like. Everyone can be able to enjoy it. So I hope to see you guys here one day and spend a day here at the Banyas. Guys, welcome to inside of Nimrod's fortress. In the year 1226, Aziz Uthman decides he's going to build a massive fortress here to be able to defend the road against the Crusaders in case the Crusaders try coming again. This is the main road going all the way to Damascus. So to be able to protect the road, he makes this incredible fortress with so many amenities that are not normal in other places, including indoor plumbing for a restroom, water fountains to be drinking of, and it's so complex it actually takes more than 50 years to build the whole thing. Come, let me show you some more. Welcome to the beautiful tower. Situated on the southern part of the fortress, facing the massive valley of the road to Damascus, it is made for fortification. We have slits on every single side of this building to be able to face the main road in case of attackers for defensive purposes. It was so gorgeous, all the walls were plastered with beautiful white plaster all the way up on the domed roof. And if you look very closely, even these stones, the architect tried to line up perfectly, so they had not one single misimperfection in the whole area. A lot of work definitely went into making this beautiful tower. So after the 50 years of finally building this fortress, Banyas, the ruler of the Mamelukes, decides he is going to put his glory and his name on his amazing fortress. When the Mamelukes decided to make a fortress, they chose the top of a mountain, 2,600 feet above ground level, above sea level, which is a perfect idea to be able to see such far distance. Because if or when the Crusader army is going to come back to reconquer, they'll definitely be coming this way, again, the road towards Damascus. And being at such a high distance, we were able to see very far off onto the horizon. And on a clear day, you can almost even see the Mediterranean Sea from here. So everywhere that Banyas is going to go, he's going to leave his symbol. So you might recognize this lion right above my head as the same lion you're going to see on Lion's Gate in Jerusalem. Pretty cool, huh? Wow, look how amazing this room is over here. It's just ginormous. This being built in the 13th century, some people might look at it, you might actually think it's from the Crusader era due to the vaulted ceilings making a cross on top. But according to archaeologists, it's actually just from the Mameluke era. What was this room? Welcome to the dining hall. For all the soldiers that would have been stationed up here, they would have had to have somewhere to eat. So what better room to do it in than a giant one right here together? Wow, check out this view. It is the perfect place for the fortress because you have a direct view all the way to the Gula Valley. This prevents anybody from being able to sneak up on you. The perfect idea to have a fortress here to prevent your enemy from coming up on you. We are now at one of the corners of the fortress, and come check out these windows. They're made in a very unique way because back in the 13th century, you're fighting with bows and arrows. So on the inside of the fortress, it's shaped like a V. So if you have your bow and arrow, you're able to move around from side to side, but your enemy only has a very narrow target to be able to shoot back at you. So what do the soldiers do here for water? Well, that's really simple. We have a wonderful reservoir right over here because we get beautiful rain in the winter, spring and fall in this region, that all they had to do was set up a beautiful gutter system on the rooftops to drain all the water right behind me into this amazing water reservoir. And they weren't just that basic about it. Because they were the Mamelukes and they had indoor plumbing, they also decided to make a drinking fountain. In the year 1240, this amazing water fountain, or sabila, was added in, made soldiers a lot easier for them to be able to do their ritual washings before they have to pray 5 times a day. Just as you guys think we were finished with this fortress, we have one more thing to see. Come check out the secret passageway, the best way to get out in case you are attacked. Wow, and just like that, we are outside of the fortress. But not too late, let's kind of look at this architecture over here. This is an incredible Mamluk architecture just for the outside of the building. You can notice we have 3 giant stones making up this doorway. And you notice that small gap right on top of the top stone? If that gap was not there and it was solid, it would put all the weight of the whole wall onto this one stone, eventually over time cracking the stone and the whole wall falling down. But because we have the gap in between the stones, it puts pressure on the stones to the side, helping support the whole wall. This is a special invention done by the Mamluks.
I will bless those who bless you, God promised Abraham. Embrace this covenant by connecting with the people of Israel. From Jerusalem's stones to Galilee's shores, experience living faith through their traditions and hospitality. Your journey is more than visiting biblical sites. It's about hearts that welcome your friendship. Your presence matters. Discover Israel.
So talking about the Mamluks all this time from the 13th century makes me wonder, if we're at such a strategic spot on the map, was there anyone here before us? Well, it's a big argument right now going along with archaeologists, and because the site is still being dug and excavated, we don't really have a full answer to that. But let's try to see if we can find one and come to a conclusion ourselves. So come join me as we go back even more in time. Walking through Nimrod's fortress, we're able to cover all this amazing archaeology. We know from the story of Salah ad-Din, when he conquers this land after the Battle of the Horns of Hedon in 1187, he conquers the area and gives the area to his son. His son builds this incredible fortress thinking that the Crusaders are going to come and reconquer the whole region. So he builds his fortress really fast on the top of the hill, and over the next 50 years, with the Crusaders not coming in, he slowly expands it more and more. But it leaves us to wonder, on this amazing strategic site right on the main road to Damascus, were they the first people to build here? Some archaeologists claim that the Crusaders actually built a fortress here first. We do have some archaeology that might prove that. We have the beautiful archways with the crosses on top that are known for vaulted ceilings done by the Crusaders. We also have these incredible stones that date back to the same type of texture that King Herod built the Second Temple with. We even have stones that look like they possibly might be that of the Hashmoneans. But until we find coins or another amazing inscription like that Baibars one, it is still up in the air of who really founded this place first. But we will leave that up to future generations and future archaeologists to be able to discover more and teach us more about this amazing site. So after the Mamluk era here at Nimrod's fortress, we go into the Ottoman Empire. And at the beginning of the Ottoman Empire, they decide to use this amazing fortress as none other than a prison to hold their enemies. But they realize that they don't have to do that for too long because they are such a powerful entity in this region. So they leave the fortress, let it go into despair, the rocks start crumbling over, and then a major earthquake is going to hit here in the mid-1700s. When that earthquake comes, it topples a lot of the stones to the ground, leaving it for decades, until finally archaeologists are able to come and excavate it to the amazing place that we journeyed through today. From the beginnings of the Jordan River coming out of the Hermon Spring to the waterfall of the Banyas, heading up all the way to the cultic site, to the beginnings of Caesarea Philippi, where Jesus is going to be telling his disciples that he is the Messiah and giving them the keys to heaven. From there, we journeyed all the way to Nimrod's fortress, talking about the Mamluks and how they created this incredible fortress to protect from the Crusader invasion. Wow, what an incredible day it has been here up in the foothills of Mount Hermon. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of Land of the Bible. My name is Hannah Rosenberg, and it has been a pleasure to be your guide. I hope to see you again here soon, here in the Holy Land.
Next week on Land of the Bible, we'll journey through the ancient past and the modern miracle. Join me as we uncover the history, faith, and future of one of Israel's most extraordinary regions, the Golan Heights. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join us next time as we continue to connect you to the people, places, and land of the Bible.